Pearson DriveRight 11th edition, Chapter 3, Basic Vehicle Operation, Lesson 3.1, Controls, Devices, and Instruments. Vehicle controls. The characteristics and locations of vehicle controls vary from one model to another. However, each control performs the same function in each vehicle. Steering wheel. The steering wheel turns the front wheels to steer the vehicle. You need to have speed control. With too much speed, the car will go straight even though the tires are turned. Adjustable steering position. Some vehicles have options available to help a driver fit behind the steering wheel. Refer to your owner's manual for more information. Shift lever. The shift lever is used to select a gear. The shift lever is commonly located on the steering column or on the console. The console is the compartment mounted between the front seats. Cruise control. The cruise control device lets you maintain your desired speed without keeping your foot on the accelerator. The accelerator pedal. The accelerator pedal located on the right of the brake pedal is pushed down to increase speed. The brake pedal. Pushing down on the brake pedal slows or stops the vehicle. Depressing this pedal also turns on the brake lights. Parking brake. The parking brake keeps the vehicle in place when it is parked. In many cars, the parking brake is a foot-operated pedal located on the far left. Push this pedal down with your foot to set the brake. The shift indicator positions. The shift indicator shows the gear positions of an automatic transmission. This indicator may be located on the steering column, on the instrument panel, or on the console to the right of the driver. Common positions on the shift indicator are P, R, N, D, 2, and 1. P is park. This gear position locks the transmission. Your vehicle should be in park before you start driving. You should also shift to park every time you stop driving, since the vehicle cannot roll in this gear. Never shift to park when the vehicle is moving. You can remove the key from the ignition only when the lever is in park. R, reverse. This gear is used for backing up. Always come to a complete stop before shifting into reverse. When you shift to reverse, the backup lights come on. These white lights at the rear of the vehicle illuminate your path at night and tell others that you are backing up. N, neutral. This position allows the wheels to roll without engine power. If the engine stalls while you are driving, you must shift into neutral to restart the engine while the vehicle is moving. D, drive. This position is for moving forward. To keep your vehicle from jumping forward, keep firm pressure on the brake pedal every time you shift to drive. Some vehicles are equipped with overdrive. In most cars, overdrive is shown as a D with a circle or square around it. Driving in this gear saves fuel and can be used for all normal forward driving. Lower gears. The number 2 and 1 located on the right of D represent lower gear ratios. Some indicators have L2, L1, or D2, D1. These positions allow the engine to send more power to the wheels at lower speeds. You should use the lower gears when you are towing heavy objects or going up and down steep hills. Devices for safety, communication, and comfort. Locate and understand the operation of the following devices of any vehicle you drive before you put the car in motion. Safety belts. Always wear your safety belt when the vehicle is in motion. It is your best protection against injury in a collision. Fasten the belt to a snug fit. Most states require drivers and front seat passengers to wear safety belts. Some states require all passengers to use safety belts. Head restraints. Most vehicles have head restraints, padded devices on the back of the seats. Head restraints help reduce whiplash injuries in a collision, especially if the vehicle is struck from the rear. Inside and outside rear view mirrors. The inside mirror shows the view through the window of the vehicle. The left and right outside mirrors shows views to the side and rear of your vehicle. Even when these mirrors are adjusted properly, there are areas around the vehicle that the driver cannot see. These areas, called the mirror's blind spots, are shown in figure 12 on page 54. Horn. The horn is usually located on the steering wheel. In some areas, 2 quick taps on the horn convey a friendly message, but a prolonged blast of the horn sends out a warning signal to other users of the roadway. Hazard flasher control. This switch may be located on the steering column or on the instrument panel. When the hazard flasher is on, both front and rear turn signals lights flash at the same time. Turn signal lever. This lever is located on the left side of the steering column. Move the lever up to signal a right turn and down to signal a left turn. The turn signal stops flashing when the steering wheel is straightened. You may need to manually cancel the signal light by moving the lever back to the neutral position. Windshield wipers and washers. One switch usually operates both the wipers and the washers to clean the windshield. This control is often mounted on the turn signal lever. Use a windshield antifreeze solution in the windshield washer container under the hood in winter if you live in a cold climate. Light switch. The light switch is usually a knob or switch located on the left of the instrument panel or on the turn signal lever. In some vehicles, it may be a separate lever attached to the steering column. This device controls headlights, taillights, and side marker lights, as well as the instrument panel, license plate, and dome lights. You can change the headlights from low to high beam by using the dimmer switch, usually located on the turn signal lever. Hood release lever. This lever is usually located on the left side under the instrument panel. Pull the lever to release the hood. You will also need to operate a second release under the front of the hood before the hood can be raised. Heater, air conditioner, and defroster. Heating and air conditioning systems warm or cool the inside of the vehicle. The defroster keeps the windshield and windows free of moisture. Most vehicles have a separate switch for a rear window defroster. Sun visors. Sun visors are located above the windshield on the driver and passenger side. Pull the visor down or to the side to help cut the glare from bright sun. Always make certain the edge of the visor is not pointing towards you, which could cause injuries during a crash. Seat adjustment lever. The lever is usually located at the lower front or left side of the driver's seat. In vehicles with electric seats, the controls are usually on the lower left side of the driver's seat or mounted on the door. Instrument panel. The instrument panel contains gauges, warning lights, and sometimes a message center. It is this panel directly in front of the driver's seat. No matter where these gauges and lights are located, their purposes are the same. You can make sure the warning lights are working if they light when the ignition switch is turned on before starting the engine. Important gauges. These gauges measure the operational condition of the vehicle. It is extremely important that you detect any abnormal reading as soon as possible. Fuel gauge. The fuel gauge shows how much gasoline is in the tank. It is a good idea to keep the tank at least half full during cold weather. Temperature light or gauge. This light or gauge warns you when the coolant in the engine is too hot. Oil pressure warning light or gauge. This warning light or gauge signals you when the oil is not circulating through the engine at the proper pressure. However, it does not tell you the amount of oil in the engine. Alternator warning light or voltage meter. If this light comes on or the gauge shows discharge while the engine is running, the alternator is not generating enough electricity to run the vehicle. The alternator warning light indicates that the electricity is being used from the battery. The more electricity used, the sooner the battery will go dead. Brake system warning lights. The warning light serves two purposes. First, the light reminds you to release the parking brake before moving the vehicle. Second, if the light comes on while you are pressing the foot brake or while you are driving, part or all of the braking system is not working properly. If this occurs, brake gradually to a stop, have the vehicle towed, and have the problem corrected. Speedometer. This instrument tells you the speed at which you are traveling in both miles per hour and kilometers per hour. Some vehicles have a digital speedometer. A tachometer. Some vehicles have a tachometer. That indicates the engine's revolutions per minute, RPM. Engine damage may occur if the RPMs rise too high while the vehicle is being driven. This is indicated by a red zone on the gauge. Odometer. The odometer indicates the total number of miles the vehicle has been driven. Some vehicles have an additional trip odometer that can be set back to 0 to measure the number of miles driven during a certain period of time. Anti-lock braking system light. The light tells you if the anti-lock braking system, or ABS, is functioning properly. ABS keeps the wheels from locking if the driver brakes hard. If the ABS light comes on while driving, it indicates a problem with the system. Safety belt light. This light reminds you to fasten your safety belt before moving your vehicle. This light comes on when you turn on the key. In some vehicles, the light stays on for a few seconds after the engine is started, and there may also be a beeping sound. Airbag warning light. When the ignition is turned on, the airbag light comes on for a few seconds and then goes off. This tells you that the airbags are in proper working condition. If the airbags are not in proper operating condition, the warning light will stay on. Turn signal indicators. These indicators tell you the direction you have signaled to turn. High beam indicator. This light glows when the high beam headlights are on. This indicator usually appears as a small blue light in some area of the instrument panel. Check engine light. The check engine light can either blink or remain constant depending on the problem. A blinking light indicates a problem that needs immediate attention. However, whenever the check engine light comes on, you should have the vehicle checked by a service technician. Message center. Many vehicles have a message center that provides drivers with important information. Typical reminders include check engine oil, low washer fluid, and door ajar. Refer to your owner's manual for the meanings of the messages whenever they appear in the message center.